Well, hello again from Ski Instructor Academy. We are doing our part 2 with bigpictureskiing.com. Tom and I were discussing Hughes skiing. Welcome back, Tom. Nice to see you again.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, let's get stuck into part 2. What can we help?
Brought up a couple of little points with Tom, because I think I was taking the piss out of him a bit. But I said, the issue is now, Tom, is that there are certain goals in people's minds. And I think one of them is getting the hip to the ground, getting a long outside leg. It's got to get the hip to the ground. That's the cool thing to do. It's all your fault.
Yeah. Well, I would blame others as well. But I was saying to you, I certainly am maybe not helping the whole thing with, if I post something, on social media, of course, I'm looking for the biggest angles I can show because it looks cool. But I think people miss the thousands of grueling hours you and I as demonstrators and coaches spend on the basics. Just like, I'll show you, this is from September this year in Perisher of me. Like, I spend so much time skiing like this. So nothing really big and crazy, but my body position is what I'm working on, and for this speed and this edge angle, everything being really refined and balanced. And this is end of season, very bumpy, slushy sort of snow, and I'm trying to make it look like it could be perfectly groomed, like the same sort of look. And so things we're telling Hugh to work on, like here's this like a balanced position, feet are narrow, this foot's not even touching the ground, so I don't even need it as a base of support, feeling that all the way around. Good, feet are following me around, and you can look at some of Paul's other videos on fore and aft stance, where we talk about, and he talks about leaving the foot behind, so I'm not doing that. My feet are lined up with me. Just spending time doing some basics where even terrain like this does not phase my skiing. A big clump of heavy wet snow doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's interesting that, because I was lucky enough to ski with a World Cup skier, a giant slalom skier, very, very good skier. And he said to me, the easiest way to improve your skiing, if I want to just be a boring coach, is to set the guy off and say, you're going to do the whole season skiing on one ski, and that's it. Outside to outside, you're just going to be lifting up the tail or the tip, of that inside ski, and javelin turns with it, whatever. But it's going to be always outside ski. And if you do that, I guarantee you'll be a million times better skier by the end of the season. But of course, you won't do that, because exactly what you said, it's monotonous, it's boring, it's, you want to ski faster, you want to push yourself. And of course, we all know that is important, to push ourselves, but we need the basics to be able to do that. Technique is at the heart of everything. It's quantifiable, and this is really important, that we understand when technique breaks down, coaches need to recognize that the physical, psychological tolerances of somebody has been reached. And at that threshold, you've got to turn around and go, hang on, slow back down. Let's have a look at what's going on, because at this speed that, because Hugh's going for it, God, he can off go for it. He's a committed guy. But he's never going to improve at that speed. It's going to be so difficult and time consuming to improve at that speed.
Yeah, exactly. So, there you see, the speed exacerbates things further. And so if you're not aware of things, like I can be aware of the little errors that occur at the speed I'm going here, and so I've got time to correct them, and I can learn from that. Whereas the speed Hugh's going here, like here's this big split in the stance, and that's actually, to me, that looks dangerous. I'm sort of projecting my own thoughts here, but I certainly, if I see that, I would be worried for myself, and I would just be like, okay, pushing it a little too much. I'm just going to go back to some more basic things in my skiing stance. And all the best skiers do this. Like that video of Raymond Zenhausen, he's doing the same thing. he's doing the same thing. So yeah, I think it's really important to go back, and
Yeah.
I think you
So
can
I
end
think
up
I think a lot of
skiing like
coach.
this more consistently.
Yeah, a lot of coaches, would be. It's very easy, and I think both Tom and I recognize straight away. As a job as an instructor or a coach, one of the easiest things is being able to sit back and go, nah, not doing this. You're tipping in, you're standing on the inside ski, you're getting caught, you're split stancing, I hear it all the time. But we have to look and understand what positives we have in front of us as well. I mean, this guy must be phenomenal to work with. He's knowledgeable. He clearly,
Yep.
comes from a very ski-orientated background, etc. And he just needs somebody that he trusts, a coach that has an emotional contact with him, he feels he can connect with. And that coach might say to him, I'm sorry, Hugh, but if you want to work with me, I'm going to take you to the basics. And that's sometimes hard. And I know in my mid-50s, it's not easy to think, God, I have to go back to the beginning, but I believe in this case, simplicity of getting a good pole plan, like you showed on your parallel turn, getting a good stance at a speed, and then bringing the speed in as you feel good. Hey, it feels good. I'm going to push it a bit. Oh, it feels good. Let's go steeper. That feels good. Let's go steeper again. It's fallen apart. Okay, let's come back a bit. What's going on? Working this threshold of, advancing and coming back over, that is the coaching that is going to get Hugh to feel better, more comfortable. And I think the biggest one we said between the two of us is, Hugh, it's hard to say to somebody sometimes, but could we possibly switch the brain off and go on to autopilot? Because it must be hard when your body's trying to catch up with how many
that makes me
thoughts
think
you
of
have.
You can even test this for yourself. We can each ourselves easily get in the way of our body's reflexes. Most of movement is governed and controlled by reflexes. So when you're trying to push the knees in and engage this and do that, you actually take your ability away from running on reflexes. So you want to kind of get back to that with some simple exercise. That's why drills can be really effective and really good. So
but you can't get ahead of yourself, and I know that it's one of those things when, if we fall forward, we naturally stretch our leg out. We do it when we run, we do it when we walk, we do it. But of course, if we didn't put the leg out, there'd be problems. But if I had to think I'm going to put my leg out, I think that might be a problem as well. You do it by reflex, and this is really important that he gets at. And I think this is why, in conclusion to this, we've spent, a good nearly 20 minutes with looking at Hugh. And I think in conclusion, okay, Hugh, look, if you want to really understand more about the technical parts of it, the biomechanics and the physics, I can highly recommend pop on to bigpictureskiing.com. There's a multitude of videos there that is going to cover every single thing if you want to talk that talk. But Tom will agree as well. At some point, as well as doing the skiing, you've got to do the stuff on the dry land. You've got to be willing to put that time in. And especially as you get older, it's even more important, the dry land stuff. And you need some coach that you can, whether it be over online, you can connect with, or somebody who you can feel you trust their opinion and you'll follow their advice.
Yeah, definitely.
I need one as well, Tom.
Hey, thanks so much for inviting me back for another chat. We both can't help discussing skiing. We love doing it, and hopefully Hugh has found some useful thoughts and information he can run with you and make a decision around. So I hope you guys get to get skiing soon.
Absolutely. I'm still waiting for my free t-shirt. I hear there's new merchandise about.
It's I'm really liking it, so maybe that can be your Christmas present.
I don't know if my biceps are going to fit in that one. It looks like it's made for a biker.
Cheap shot again. Awesome. Hey mate, so good to catch up.
That's it from bigpictureskiing.com and Ski Instructor Academy. We'll see you next time. Hopefully we'll all be skiing soon. Bye for now.
See ya.